Alright, this tutorial is going to show you how to create your form still lives. You're going to be making 4 different shapes, so your sphere, your cone, your cylinder, and your square. They don't have to be in this particular order, but that is entirely up to you. So the things that you need are paper, preferably in your sketchbook. If you do not have this sketchbook, you can use printer paper. If you don't have printer paper, you can use lined paper. You know, get creative, use paper. You can even use a brown paper bag if you wanted to. Get creative, you can do this. Then I recommend a ruler. That's in your art kit as well for, as you can see, this kind of horizon line that I've drawn back there. If you do not have a ruler, you can use any straight edge. Could be the edge of a textbook, you know, again, be resourceful. Other things, you need a pencil. End of story, you need that with an eraser. The eraser can be separate, I don't know, but again, a pencil. Sharpener, of course, for the pencil. And then these are in your art kit. These are called tortillons. They're literally just rolled up paper, really tight, that you can smudge with. So hopefully you have these. If you do not, you can use your finger for this as well. So the way to begin is, number 1, have this pencil sharpened, ready to go. Okay. Then we're going to start roughly sketching out our shapes. So I'm going to start pretty close to the edge here, and I'm going to start with a circle. Draw super lightly. Do not go too dark. Okay? Circle. Yeah, you guys can see that. Cone. So start out with, make it skinny. Pretty tall. Like an upside down V, and then we do a round bottom. Okay, nice and light. We're just kind of placing these on the page. The next cylinder, think of like a can of soup. Draw your oval at the top. Draw 2 straight lines on the either side of the oval, and then at the bottom round it out. Nice curved line. Try to keep them all appearing as though they're kind of on the same table, basically. And then lastly, our cube. Draw a square. Okay. Then on the top left-hand corner, draw a line angled in that direction. Then come over to this other corner, draw a line angled in that direction, bring it out a little bit farther. Do the same on the bottom right, like so. And then just straight lines connect the corners together, and then you have a cube. Okay, so now we're going to start shading in. So I'm going to start with the cube, and I'm going to go to the left. I recommend doing that because if you start with the whatever you put all the way to the left here, I'm going to start on the right. If you started here, with your hand, like you see, my hand is kind of dirty. That's from doing the sample. If I did that, I would kind of smudge my stuff as I was going. So I recommend going in the other direction. So in order to do your cube, okay, the right hand side is going to be dark. So you're going to shade in. And you guys have already done value scales, so you should be able to think about that project, that assignment, that exercise, and be able to recreate that here. So I am kind of coloring in one direction, like up and down, and then I kind of go in the opposite direction. See that? And that kind of builds up the color that way, the shading, the lead of the pencil. Then the front of our cube is going to be kind of like a mid-tone. This is like going to be the darkest. The front's going to be a mid-tone, so you see how I'm coloring in, you know, shading in. And then I like to turn my page and then color in the other way. Okay. I do little circular motions too in certain areas to fill things in. Okay. And then the top is going to be like your lightest, but you still want some value on there. You still want some shading. Okay. Okay. Now, looking back at this, I'm like, I think I want to make my side darker. So I just go back in there and I do that. And I can do that on the front as well. And yeah, I'm going to make this darker. Then you're going to use your tortillon, which is this guy. And it's just a circular smudging motion. You can also use your finger for this. The tortillon allows you to get a little bit more detail, but you can use your finger. So don't worry if you smudge like outside of the line a little bit, you can just use your eraser to erase it. Now I am going to go through this and honestly do it as fast as I can just so that the tutorial doesn't last too long. But I expect you guys to take your time, really blend your values, because you have the time. You have the time to make this look really nice. Okay. All right, so cube. Cast shadows. Actually, you know what? Let's put in our horizon line. So what you're going to do is use the ruler and then line it up till it's like crossing through the middle of your shapes, and then draw your line. I'm not drawing all the way through. I'm kind of like, see, doing like that. Then it makes it feel like it's really sitting on a surface. Okay. Cast shadows on your cube, straight out from the side, like so. Closer to the cube is going to be darker, as you can see. And if you ever lose like your edge, just go in there with your pencil and kind of redraw in your line. Okay, like so. And again, using our tortillon to blend, or your finger. And then notice how the shadow gets lighter as we go farther away from the cube. That's what we're going for. Okay, cylinder. This is how we do the cylinder. It's a little bit different. I'm gonna start, because if we're remembering, if I didn't mention it, your light source is coming like from up here. So imagine the light is casting itself onto the shapes. So the light is hitting the left-hand side of the shapes. Okay, and then the things that are farthest away from your light are going to be darkest, right? So with a cylinder, it's almost like a dark strip that's not quite all the way to the right. It's almost all the way to the right, but I'm just going to put in value. See that kind of darker strip that I'm drawing? Okay. Going back and forth. This I recommend keeping it in kind of like one direction. And then as we go out from the strip on the left here, I'm going to add a bit of a lighter strip of value. Notice I hold my pencil like halfway up it. That helps me out. Like I wouldn't hold it all the way down here. I would hold it maybe halfway. Okay. Kind of defining my edges again. Okay. So I'm applying my value. Okay, now I'm going to use my tortillon. And I'm going to start where it's darkest, blending, and little circular motions. And I kind of pull the value out. See that? Okay. Same thing over here. Pull your value out. If you ever feel it gets too dark, just use your eraser and kind of like bring back a highlight if you lose it. Okay. The top of your cylinder, you're just going to want to make it kind of like how the top is here, just kind of like a mid value. And then just use the tortillon and blend. This is not the most careful job I've ever done. I mean, you can see the other one I showed you, which I'll show you at the end again. That one I took my time. The bottom of the cylinder, have your cast shadow come out. like so, and it's going to be darkest right up against the cylinder. Use your tortillon and blend. See, I'm kind of rounding out that shadow. Okay. What is this? This is a cone. This is a cone. So similar to the cylinder where there's like a strip of color, of value. I'm going to put that not all the way at the edge, but close. Okay. And I put lighter value to the edge, darker on this strip here. And like as I'm going, I'm like defining the edge of my cone. Okay. Lighter value here. Using my tortillon, blend from where it's darkest first, and then go out. Now I'm definitely gonna go in there and kind of pull my highlight out where it's lightest, because I definitely kind of lost it, which is fine. Any mistakes I may have made, I'm just gonna clean it up with my eraser. See how I'm re-getting a highlight there? Okay. And then your cone will be like the cast shadow will be like shaped like a triangle. See that? And then just like the others, it's darkest closest to the form, and then as it goes out, it gets lighter. Okay. And then our sphere right over here. I like to do kind of almost like a crescent moon shape. You see that? Crescent moon shape shadow. Go all the way around. As I go, I kind of redefine the edge of my sphere. Okay. The sphere will probably take you the longest, I assume. It's a bit more complex in the shape of the shadows. The darkest shadow, you don't want to be all the way to the edge, but close, just like we did with our cylinder and our cone. You get close. And again, don't be afraid if you lose like your white highlight, especially after you blend with your tortillon. You just use the eraser, bring it back out. So I'm gonna blend. And even after you blend, you can add more value with your pencil. The ship doesn't sail once you blend. Again, I'm doing this very quickly, so it's a little sloppy in my opinion, but you guys take your time. Okay, let's grab the eraser, do it in like a circular motion. See that? And I definitely want to make this a little bit darker, but you guys get the idea. Okay, then your cast shadow is going to be round, right? It's going to be like an oval. Okay, and then same concept, where it's darker, it's closest to the form, right here. Then as it goes away from the form, it's lighter. And let's blend it out. And then you're done. Take a photo of it, turn it in on Google Classroom, hold it up to your Chromebook and take a photo that way. You can take a photo on your phone and turn it in. However you get it in, I'll take it. Okay. And there we have our finished form still life. There's the one I spent more time on. If you have questions, reach out and email. I can help.